Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with KPP Facebook Live, the show that's dedicated to providing you with advice for life so that you can live richly and work towards the life you've earned. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope you all are doing well and staying warm. If you're in colder temperatures, we've had some winter weather recently where we are in Louisville, so hope everybody's staying safe and warm out there. My name's Ben Hopper. I'm a certified financial planner and financial advisor, investment advisor representative with Kentucky Planning Partners based out of Louisville, Kentucky. Recently, as I'm sure you've seen on our videos, we are excited to have announced our new Bowling Green location with Andrew Cusick heading up that office. And as you know, since last year, we've had our Somerset location as well with Austin Hill and Derek Vickery serving as our advisors down there. So here at KPP, we're really excited to get these new offices underway and to grow in that form. So thank you all for joining us. Today, what I'd like to talk about for just a few minutes is goal setting. So we figured that with this timing that we wanted to do this at the end of January after 2022 is already underway, because believe it or not, studies show that about 2/3 of people out there that set goals for the new year, that have New Year's resolutions, are done with those goals within a month. So why we wanted to do this today was to re-encourage you to get back to those goals. If you've fallen off the wagon already, get back to setting goals and determining what you'd like to accomplish and in what areas you'd like to grow for this year and beyond. So let's jump into it. There's two main things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to goal setting and things to think about to encourage you to not only set goals, but then actually achieve them. So the first area I'd like to point out is how you set your goals. What do you want to focus on, and how do you actually do it? So the acronym that's very popular out there that some of you might already know is what's called a SMART goal. S-M-A-R-T, SMART. And what that is an acronym that describes how you write your goals. So the S in SMART is specific. So the very first thing, we're financial advisors, we're planners, and you've heard a lot about what we do. So what I'll use as an example using in our world of a goal and how you can take it from just an idea or a theory to an actual attainable SMART goal. So I'm going to use an example of saving money and building your net worth or building your wealth. So let's say that in 2022, you start out by saying that you'd like to build your net worth. Well, if the S is specific and SMART, building your net worth isn't exactly specific. So how do you do that? Let's change that to save money. I want to save money. Okay, well, let's get a little more specific. How much money do you want to save? How much money do you want to save per month? How much by the end of the year do you want to have saved in an account? These are some ways you can make it specific. So let's say you want to save $500 a month. Now we have a specific goal. Very good. So going on to the M in SMART is measurable. It has to be a measurable goal. It has to be an amount that you can see on paper as to how much. I've already kind of made this one measurable. You want to save $500 a month. We're specific and we're measurable. The third one, the A, is attainable. So the goal for you has to be realistic and it has to be attainable given your situation. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you and your spouse have a joint household income of $6,000. Okay, so let's say if your $6,000 monthly income, let's say you start by saying you actually want to save $5,000 a month. Well, if you want to save $5,000 a month, but you have a $6,000 income, is $1,000 a month left over enough to pay all your bills, enough to eat out and do your groceries and make sure that you're spending some on fun things? Probably not. If you're married with a kid, maybe you probably need more than just $1,000 a month to pay all those other things. So $5,000 a month probably isn't attainable in that specific scenario. So basically, how you want to look at this is in the context of a budget. If you want to save money and you want to invest and build your net worth, for example, you've got to have a budget and you've got to be able to track your expenses so you know how much you're realistically able to save and invest. That makes your goal attainable if you're realistic in the context of your situation. The R in SMART stands for realistic. It has to be, the R in SMART stands for relevant. Attainable and realistic are the same thing. R is relevant. It has to be relevant given your situation. Let me give you an example of that. If you want to save and you say you have a 401k plan at work, that's probably for your situation a good place to be saving more money is in a 401k plan at work. We've talked about that. We've talked about how those work a lot of times. If you have an employer match, a lot of times a good way to save is to make sure that you're taking full advantage of that employer match. But say you don't have a 401k plan at work, then you wouldn't obviously be saving in a 401k plan if your company doesn't allow it. So whatever you'd like to do to save money, whatever vehicles you'd like to use, maybe it's an IRA or a Roth IRA, it has to be relevant given your situation. Say you and your spouse have a high household income. If it's over around $210,000, for instance, you can't use a Roth IRA because you're phased out on the income thresholds that the IRS puts in place. So a Roth IRA would not be relevant in that situation. So your goal has to be relevant. The last one in SMART is timely or time bound. That means you have to give your goal a time by which you'd like to accomplish it. If it's saving $500 a month, well, that's got a little bit of a time bound on it. But what if it's at the end of a year? How much do you want to have saved within a year? If you're doing $500 a month, that means you'd like to save $6,000 by the end of the year. So here what we've done is taken an idea or a wish of, I want to build my net worth and improve my financial situation, and we've taken it into a SMART goal, which is I want to save $500 a month in my Roth IRA, for example, and that would put me at $6,000 by the end of the year. That makes a SMART goal. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that you should put your goals in writing. So if you have this goal and it's in your head, what makes it a lot more likely to happen is if you write it down. If you put it on paper and you put it on your refrigerator or you put it on above your headboard on your bed so that you see it every day. Or if you have it as your desktop background, if you keep it electronically maybe, that's a good way to always be remembering your goal and working towards it day in and day out. The last thing I want to point out is what types of categories you might want to set your goals in. So I got this actually from Ramsey Solutions. Dave Ramsey has 7 areas that he recommends you set goals in. I've already described one of them, and that's a financial goal. Saving money or paying off debt, or there's a variety of different ways you could come up with a financial goal. Maybe it's to buy a house. Who knows? Maybe it's to give more. Maybe you want to donate more to your church or work on a tithe. Those are all financial goals that you could put in place. Other goals are fitness goals. I want to lose weight. Okay, remember, let's make this a SMART goal. I want to lose 5 pounds a month so that by the end of the year I lose 60 pounds. That is a SMART goal in the fitness category. Educational goals. Maybe you want to finish a master's degree. Maybe you want to read more. Maybe you want to read 1 book a month, 1 nonfiction book a month, or fiction book. Different educational goals that you can place. Family goals. Maybe you haven't talked to your uncle who lives across the country very much recently. Maybe you want to spend an hour a month talking with him and catching up. Maybe you want to visit your family that lives a few hours away more. Family goals are very important as well. Spiritual goals. If you are spiritual, maybe you want to go to church more. Maybe you want to start prayer more. Maybe you want to work on helping others that are in need or volunteering more. That's a spiritual goal. Career goals. Maybe you are next in line for a promotion at work and you want to show your boss that you're worthy of that. Maybe you want to start a new business venture, or maybe you're an entrepreneur that needs to come up with a new business idea to create income. Those are career goals. Social goals. Maybe you have friends that live around you that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe you want to catch up with them, go to a cocktail happy hour, or just call them up and get a group of friends together from college that you want to see. Those are good social goals to have. The last area is fitness. I've already talked about fitness. I'm sorry. Financial would be the last goal, and we've already talked about that as well. So fitness, financial, educational, family, spiritual, career, and social. Those are 7 good areas that you can set goals for this year. And by using the SMART goal method and putting them in writing, that makes them much more realistic and likely that they're going to happen. So we at Kentucky Planning Partners just wanted to encourage you all to set goals, to have goals, and to work towards attaining them. And if you've already fallen off the bandwagon, if at the start of the year you began something and since then it just hasn't happened, or you've lost motivation, we'd like to re-energize you and motivate you to get back on track, set your goals, and work as hard as you possibly can to achieve them. So if you have any questions at all, if you'd like to dig more into the financial goals category and talk with a financial advisor, give us a call at KPP. We'd be happy to meet with you. Consultations are totally free, and we just want to get to know good people and see how we can help them. So our number is 502-394-0400, 502-394-0400. We are located in the Flash Cube building in the heart of Louisville's east side at the corner of Hurstbourne Lane and Shelbyville Road. My name again is Ben Hopper, Certified Financial Planner, Investment Advisor Representative, and I hope this has been helpful, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.